Well, out here today on a property that I got permission on last year, and last year was the first year I was in here, and I came up with 5 sheds in like a 2-hour walk back here. It's just like most of the property is all fields and it's all chisel plowed, and this is just like a 10-acre hardwoods back here, and it was 5 sheds back here last year. 3 of them were fresh. I just came up on a fresh one right now, and it's like literally yards from where I found 2 of them last year. You can see how like wide open this is. You drive around this area, you'll see like fields of like 20 and 30 deer, all does and fawns. I'm thinking this is like a little area that the bucks like group up in the wintertime. There's like no browse in here, but they really like to hang in here. And right there is the antler. There's actually very few rubs. I mean, there's rubs in this woods, but these bucks I don't think are living here during the fall, but they just come in here during the winter. They must. It's not even chewed that bad. That's good. Awesome. That's a pretty nice antler too. Man, this might even be... I found one pretty nice one in here last year. This looks pretty similar to him, but it just doesn't look big enough. All right, after I took a couple pictures, I just noticed this awesome kicker point off the base. Man, that's crazy. Okay, here we go. I'm pretty positive that that's off that buck. I found one of his sheds in here last year. Pretty sure. It actually looks kind of fresh. I mean, the full wax ring is there. Not a single chew, which is pretty surprising. All the fresh sheds I found in here last year weren't chewed at all. The 2 old ones I think had a couple chews, but still not bad for being a hardwoods. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's off of him. Same kind of looking brow tine. I'll have to get home and compare if it is. God, he's an old buck. He's going almost downhill. I feel like he had more mass last year, about the same height. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was the other side though, the right side I found from him last year. That's pretty cool. Well, hopefully this ain't the only one. I literally just did my first loop in here. Now I'm gonna start gridding it. You know, I didn't want to start gridding it right away. Just wanted to like kind of like hit the same spots where I found them. Like I said, it's only about 10 acres probably, so it ain't gonna take long. I just camped on another one literally, 10 minutes ago. I found that last one. This is a old one that I should have probably found last year, but looks like it's been laying here for a couple years. This is when I first spotted it. I mean, I was back here and I just figured it was like a deer bone. I mean, look at it. But it's definitely a shed. Wow, that one's probably gonna stay here. I usually don't throw back sheds, but this one I think is probably gonna stay here. Well, that's a good sign. It's always a good sign to find old sheds. At least, no one else is getting in here. I should also point out that basically right around here is where I found that big one, that big fresh one last year. And look I'm pretty close to the field. And last year I found 2 of them on that side of the woods, really close to the edge of the woods like this. And almost, yeah, now that I think about it, all the sheds I found in here, these 2 today and all the ones last year, were all within like 20 to 30 yards off the field. I mean, this woods is only about maybe 100 yards across, but they're not really bedding in the middle. So they're bedding on these edges, looking out for danger. Figured I'll just point that out. It's kind of interesting. God, they're so hard to see in here. I just camped on another old one and I have the other side from last year. And I gridded this really good last year, and I'm gridding it really good, looking down on my phone, making sure I'm, not walking the same spot and covering, doing this in like, about 15, 20 yard stretches, maybe tighter in some areas. This was definitely laying here last year. Well, the sun glare definitely doesn't help, but that'll be gone pretty soon here. Sheds right there. I pretty much seen it from right here. I had just walked through over there. I mean, you can miss these things super easy. And the hardwoods like this with very few deer trails, I mean, they can pretty much walk anywhere they want in here, and they could drop a shed anywhere. Little ones like this will disappear pretty easily. That's just a really beefy 1.5-year-old. Man, that's a nice young deer. Who knows if he's still around. I wonder if it maybe could be this deer. I doubt it. Now that I look at this more, I don't really think this is the big one I found in here last year, because I thought it had a tighter curl than this and maybe less beating, but no way. Now this definitely might be the buck from last year. It's the same looking brow tine. Wow, this looks cool. This is right where I seen it from. Just came around this big tree here. Boom. What the heck? That is crazy. Wow. This could be the other side, honestly, to the one I just found, or I don't know. Let me get some pictures. That's cool. Man, that's like picture perfect. Can't get much cooler than that. Wow, look at that thing. Are you kidding me? That's got to be one of my coolest sheds I've ever found. What the heck? Just a little bit of chews, not bad. Obviously got injured, or yeah, an injury last year, or hit by a car, or something caused him to grow like that, because that's definitely, I think, the shed. It's got that same smooth brow tine. I'll get home and compare, but I do not, it could be this buck. It very well could be the match. Same looking base, kinda. Oh man, that's gotta be the match. Almost identical base. That would explain why he has this goofy thing here too. I know if they get like shot and wounded, or some sort of injury, like on the, let's say the right side of their body, then their left antler would be messed up. Or in this case, he might have an injury on his left side that would cause his right antler to get messed up, or he shed really bad and messed up the pedicle where it won't grow normal anymore. If this buck recovers, he could technically grow a normal looking rack on this side next year, but it's hard to say. It might not even be a match, but I'm thinking it is. Oh yeah, that's definitely a match, but it's got to be this same buck I found in here last year. Had that same brow tine. I think it was this side, but I'm not 100% sure. Man, that is so freaking cool. I did not expect to find what I found today. All right, so this is the set right here I just found. And this is the big one I found in that same woods last year that I was thinking could be the same deer. But after looking, the G4 and this G4, it just doesn't quite match up. I mean, it very well could be, but this G4 kind of like hooks back, where this G4 just goes out forward more. I mean, the brow tines, very, very similar. And another thing is the beam. It does not have nearly as tight of a curl. So I kind of doubt that it's the same deer, but it very well could be, because maybe something happened to screw up his base, screw up the next year of growth. It just doesn't quite match up. But man, those brows really do make it seem like it very well could be, but it's really hard to say. I mean, it could be just another big one in the area with similar looking genetics, so it's hard to say. Well, I just came up on a little one here. I wasn't sure if I was gonna find anything. There was 3 big bucks in here this year, and they're all dead. So that's kind of a bummer. I was just coming in here to take my camera down. I already took 2 of them down back in December. But yeah, this is kind of a surprise. I knew there was a couple like 2-year-olds, like decent looking 2-year-olds that made it through. Nothing even that looked like it was 3. But this looks like a little 1.5-year-old. So at least I'm coming out of here with something. I was basically just heading this way, glanced over, really easy to want to see. I think it's fresh, maybe old. Something had to have drug it in there. It's just kind of a weird spot. Oh yeah, that's fresh. Probably just fell a long time ago. Wow, really long time ago. Honestly, I'm not even 100% sure if that is fresh. Yeah, I don't know. Hard to say. I don't see any wax ring. Wow, that is interesting. It could have been like a December or January drop, but who knows? All right, so got off of work a little early today. It's been kind of raining on and off during the day, overcast skies, as you can tell. I came to one of my better spots and just came up on one here. An old one. I almost stepped on it. I'm literally just walking up like this, kind of scanning further out, and this is when I seen it. Yeah, that's been here for at least 2 or 3 years. Probably like 3+. Well, at least I'm on the board. Still got quite a bit of time left. We'll see what else I can pick up. Well, just camp on a match set side by side. This is a little spot right here where I did find one old one, kind of like right where I'm standing, 2 years ago. And this is just like maybe a foot or 2 higher in elevation than everything around here. And every year there's just really good bedding right in here. It's just like a tiny little half-acre area kind of, and then it drops off kind of in either direction around here. And those are the areas you got to key in on these like swampier wetland areas. Just a massive deer trail. This is right where I seen them from. I seen the first one, and then I walked over there, and then I seen the second one. I didn't see the second one right away, so that was kind of a double surprise. Looks like a really good 2-year-old buck. Like really good. Kind of palmated out at the beam. This side's got like a inside point there starting. That's awesome. I already got a couple pictures. It's not really the best as they lay picture because there's all this brush here, but oh yeah. Yeah, that's definitely just a really nice 2-year-old. That's gonna be cool. He's already pretty palmated out at the end of the beam there. Yeah, that's gonna be a really nice buck in 2 years probably. Even next year he should be pretty big. Kind of a tight curl, tight wrap. That's awesome. Looks like I might get wet. It's probably gonna start raining here, but this is just perfect conditions to shed hunt, man. So I found those sheds right there. I realize I'm standing right in a deer bed. It's hard to see, but this grass is crushed down, and standing here long enough, I can start to smell like kind of like a deer piss smell. I mean, it's pretty rare that a buck would bed this close to like a really primary heavy trail, but these could have fell in a bed. This could have fell when he was walking through, but there was definitely a deer laying here within probably the last 12 hours for sure. And all around here, there's another little crushed down bed right here, and they're shedding, you know, quite a bit right now, so it's really obvious where they're bedding, because they're losing hair left and right like crazy. Man, not even 10 minutes ago I found those other ones. This looks like another 2-year-old. Right up there, right on the deer trail. That's like extremely rare for all the miles I put on. I mean, rarely they're right on the trails like this. Wow, that's pretty dark. But it's probably pretty waterlogged. It's been raining and snowing just the last couple days here. So, awesome. Very waterlogged, I think. Definitely has a darker look to it. Man, that's cool. Just another 2-year-old. There's got to be some big stuff in here. Full wax ring on there. It doesn't look like it's been down too long, but I know when they sit in water like this, the wax ring is usually preserved a little longer, but that has got some pretty dark tines. That's crazy. I think that's the poison sumac in here that stains the antler like that really dark brown like that. The juice from the sap or whatever. But yeah. You've got to be kidding me. I just camp on looks like a pretty nice shed. And it's right on another high spot, but this is just like a 10-foot by 10-foot circle of high ground surrounded by this water. Look at that. You can see it's just like a little high mound right there. I mean, even when there's ice, I mean, deer might bed on like frozen ice, but if there's these high spots, clearly right now they're not going to bed in water. These high spots are very crucial. That's definitely where they're bedding. All kinds of hair on here. Oh man, this looks good. You know what? Oh, I think I might have found a shed off of this buck when I was in here last year. It was like a 4-point like this with a real small brow like that. Wow, let me get some pictures. That's gotta be him. Oh, for sure. I think it had a real flat, if I can remember correctly, it had a real flat base like that too. Man, that's gotta be him. Wow, that is a pretty beefy antler. It's got pretty good mass. Really small brow tine, that's crazy. It's like almost non-existent. But yeah, real good 2 and 3. I'd have to say this buck's gotta be at least 4, maybe just a really good 3-year-old. It's hard to say. Real flat base. About half the wax ring still there. Wow, that is cool. That's one of my nicer ones all year for sure. But yeah, that's just super unique with that brow. It's like it's almost not even there. So I found the same side last year, which is really nice because you can get the best comparison. Clearly the same buck, same little brow tines. And if you're not sure, I mean, you can look at these bases. It should be from 1 year to the next. It should be a relatively the same shape. It should shed relatively the same. So these are both really flat. This buck grew a ton mass wise. I mean, way more than what I would have thought. Quite a bit more mass. Put on the 5th point. It's hard to say if he's 2 then 3 or 3 then 4. But yeah, pretty cool. Man, I almost completely missed this one. Just heading this way, kind of like this. And I glanced over and right by that log, look at that. Sitting in the water too. Wow, another real nice young buck. Wow, look at that. That's crazy. How big that base is and how like concave the base is. That's crazy. Kind of got a cool looking acorn thing going on. Wow. Almost looks like a claw. That G2 there, that's crazy. But yeah, that I haven't found too many concave bases like that. I know they say that's a bad thing. They should be sticking out more. I don't know. Definitely shed. You can see he's got like some greenish pus, but maybe that's just green from sitting in this water with this grass growing. I don't know. Interesting. Nonetheless, pretty cool little shed. Yeah, that's just green from sitting in the water. You can see it's even green on the main beam there. And I just noticed there's another little high spot right here with bedding, fresh poop. Deer once again was probably bedded here, got up, shook his head or whatever and dropped his antler. That's crazy. That's like 3 sheds now right in beds. So this right here is when I first seen it. This is an old one. And once again, little high spot right there. I think I might have found one in here in the past like that, but I don't know. We'll see. That broke off kind of funny too. But yeah, more than likely, once again, high spot, shed. I mean, you can see this is maybe not being used as much as the other spots, but it's definitely a little higher than the ground around. Perfect bedding spot.